Many people want to be financially independent and grow their wealth. To do this, you need to learn good ways to handle your money. Unfortunately, there are habits that might make you struggle with money and stop you from reaching your financial dreams. So, this video will talk about 7 bad habits that can keep you stuck in a tough financial situation. Before we begin, kindly give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to our channel so you won't miss out on more awesome content like this. Let's get started. Number 1. Frequently upgrading your electronic devices. Every year, tech companies release new versions of phones, computers, and tablets, further diminishing the relevance of our current possessions. While the new models often present minimal functional advancements, these companies recognize that human psychology is predisposed to seek the latest gadgets. This preference is more about showing off social status than what the devices can actually do. For example, Apple introduces a new type of iPhone every year. While some versions show big differences, most of them don't change much. But what does change is how people feel about having the newest iPhone. This change might make you feel left out if your friends decide to get new devices. This thing happens to everything, like clothes and cars. Besides the not-so-logical nature of these upgrades, they make us less careful with our money. The cost of upgrading a phone, for instance, can amount to a substantial sum, which could be directed toward more prudent ends, like savings or investments. In essence, there's no need to constantly possess the latest gadgets. Also, if your friendships depend on this, maybe you're not with the right friends anyway. Therefore, when the impulse to update your electronics arises, consider taking a cue from William Shatner's perspective, who remarked, "If saving money is wrong, then I don't want to be right." Number 2. Underestimating the need to save while young. Let's face reality, in our youth, our central focus is often on projecting a fashionable image and fitting in with our peers. This urge leads us to acquire the latest fashion trends and cutting-edge gadgets, driven by the desire to align ourselves with the crowd. Often, our worry about fitting in with others makes us forget about saving for important things, like buying a home or retiring. This don't worry attitude pushes us to spend all the money we make, leaving very little for our future happiness. In truth, there's no such thing as being too young to initiate savings, and equally importantly, investments. Consider the story of Warren Buffett as an example. He bought his first stock when he was 11 years old, and his skill at investing has made him one of the richest people in the world over many decades. Let's use an example to show how important it is to start being responsible with money when you're young. Imagine 2 individuals, John and Paul. John starts investing $200 per month when he is 20 years old, at a 12% return until the age of 65. In contrast, Paul waits until 45 to begin investing, contributing $3,000 monthly, with the same 12% return until the age of 65. Since John contributes just $200 per month, his total contributions amount to only $108,000. However, Paul contributes a total of $720,000. At the age of 65, through the power of compound interest, John's investment has grown to $3,259,752.08. In contrast, Paul's total investment amounts to just $2,593,887.93. On the surface, Paul's larger contributions seem advantageous. But surprisingly, since John started earlier, he ends up with an extra $665,864.15. This example shows how smart it is to start saving, and more importantly, investing as early as possible. Number 3. Trading future fulfillment for immediate joy. The world has 2 main groups, people who enjoy today, and people who build for tomorrow. Unfortunately, a majority aligns with the former. Now, please understand this correctly, valuing the present is important, because we're not sure how long life will last. But it's likely that tomorrow will happen. Always choosing quick rewards over long-term gains slows down the path to success. This difference highlights an important gap between wealth and financial difficulty. When rich people earn more money, they resist the urge to spend it right away. Instead, They put this money into savings and investments, which helps it grow and creates a financial backup to support their current way of living. Rich people understand that the rewards in the future are better than quick pleasures now. Number 4. Spending more than you make. Let's recognize how tempting it is to spend money. Scientific evidence even supports this phenomenon. When contemplating a purchase, our brains release dopamine, a neurotransmitter that propels behavior. This chemical surge is similar to what we experience when savoring a delicious meal, engaging in intimate activities, completing a workout, or making a purchase. From an evolutionary perspective, dopamine rewards positive actions and compels their repetition. This natural way of thinking is why stopping spending can be hard sometimes. Actually, people often keep spending until they run out of money and use up their credit limits. It's interesting that extra money, like bonuses or getting a better job, makes this habit even worse. Having more money makes people want to spend more because they're chasing that happy feeling from dopamine. However, the desire to spend isn't solely governed by dopamine. Social integration also plays an important role. Our yearning to fit in prompts us to display status markers, like fashionable attire or the latest vehicles. Unfortunately, always spending money like this stops us from getting ahead financially. The problem is using up all the money we make, which stops us from saving, investing, and planning for retirement. The big difference between doing well with money and having a hard time is how we handle our money. While a lot of people spend all their new money, rich people keep living simply even when they earn more. This strategy enables gradual savings accumulation as income goes up. However, the difference doesn't stop at savings. The affluent then channel these funds into investments, Roth IRAs, mutual funds, real estate, or entrepreneurial ventures, fostering wealth expansion. To become rich, it's really important to avoid spending more as you earn more. Number 5. Neglecting to keep track of your spending. Many of us believe we know where our money comes from and where it goes. Unfortunately, this isn't the case for the majority. Even though we might understand big expenses like getting a car or a new phone, it's the small spending that adds up more than the obvious ones. Imagine this: every time you go out for a coffee, buy a snack, or grab a little something on sale, it might not feel like a big deal. But these seemingly insignificant expenses can pile up faster than you realize. The truth is, costs from things like little outings, coffees, and buying clothes can add up to more than a big one-time expense. So, picture this scenario: as each month passes by, these small expenses slip through without us noticing. It's like water dripping from a tap. One drop at a time doesn't seem like much, but over time, it can fill up a whole bucket. And as these small expenses keep slipping away, the chance to save money slowly wears away too. It's as if we're missing out on building a safety net for the future because we're not paying attention to the leaks in our financial boat. Number 6. Absence of a budget. Maybe you're already doing a great job of keeping track of what you spend. However, even if you're meticulously documenting your spending, it's possible to encounter financial challenges if your expenditures lack a structured plan. Even if you're aware that you're spending significant amounts on drinks and clothing each month, this can lead to accumulating substantial credit card debt, similar to not tracking your expenses at all. This is where the importance of a budget comes into play. Think of a budget as your financial roadmap. It helps guide your spending decisions, keeps you on track, and ensures you're using your money wisely. Just like how planning a journey helps you reach your destination without getting lost, having a budget can help you reach your financial goals without getting into money troubles. So, while tracking your expenses is a great start, having a budget takes your financial management to the next level. It's like having a game plan for your money, making sure it's working for you in the best possible way. And number 7. Disregarding your debt. As of August 2023, the collective credit card debt of Americans has surpassed $1 trillion. On average, each household carries an outstanding balance of nearly $7,000 on their credit cards. This staggering debt load doesn't even encompass other financial burdens like auto loans, student loans, and the largest of them all, mortgages. In essence, the United States is grappling with a significant debt problem. One reason is that a lot of people have gotten into big debt that they can't handle anymore, and their way of dealing with it is just pretending it's not there. A significant 10% of Americans have expressed uncertainty about their ability to ever eliminate their credit card debt. So, why has this issue become such a big problem? Debt has become a prominent concern in Western society due to a variety of factors. Firstly, most people don't know about all the different ways they can make money. This leads to their earnings being restricted to what their employers are willing to pay, which often falls short. Also, people feel like they're always competing with their friends to show they're doing well, because they want others to think they're successful too. This need to compete shows up in how people spend money, and social media has made this even worse. Lastly, getting into debt starts a bad cycle. If you don't pay back what you owe quickly, you end up owing even more money because of added interest charges on the big amount you already owe. So, the debt keeps getting bigger as time goes on. To avoid getting caught in this bad cycle, it's really important to make repaying your debts a top priority. Make crafting a repayment plan and adhering to it a top priority, regardless of the circumstances. That concludes today's video. I hope it was informative and beneficial to you. If you found it helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I welcome your feedback, so feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section below. Lastly, remember to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any future videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.